Good morning. Welcome to the training. It's so important in my view that we keep learning these things, these skills and methods to make a difference politically. Certainly can use it for family reasons or other ways, but how to use Instagram to achieve your political goals is the focus of this learning. And we're trying to do training sessions every other Saturday, but then there was just a clamor for us after doing Twitter last Saturday to do Instagram this morning. So this is the training. And I feel so fortunate, perhaps you all do, that Faith Gingrich-Goetz is an active member with Bold New Democracy, also the Southwest coordinator for Our Future, a wonderful organization doing progressive things. But as a PAC, they have a real focus on education and involvement and leading people to work in productive ways. So it's so great that, Faith, you have a number of roles, but part of, I believe, from For Our Future, but perhaps just your own skills, to offer to do trainings in these areas. So I feel like we are really in good hands as we navigate into the, I think, fairly complicated world of Instagram. So thank you, Faith. Lead us into the learning that we can do with Instagram.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Richard. So as Richard said, I'm Faith. For those that I haven't met, I'm the Southwest Regional Organizer for Our Future. I've done social media trainings both in this capacity, in like the political sphere. Before working on the independent expenditure side, I had worked on several campaigns and had done some of the comms work. And before that, my biggest thing was actually I ran the University of Kentucky Student Center's social media. And so that's where I got my hands-on training. And then so without further ado, we'll just jump right into it. Let me make sure I share my screen correctly. Okay, so for those who weren't here last Saturday, I just wanted to really quickly go over some of the quick statistics of when you should use Instagram versus other social media platforms. So last week I went over, last week I went over that, like Facebook is overall the best social media platform to use because it's the broadest audience and by far the largest. Twitter is the best platform to use for the professional sort of like social media usage. It's a great way to get a hold of politicians and communicate needs in that realm. And then Instagram is great for any sort of visual storytelling, which we'll go over. But also Instagram is super appealing because it is targeted more at a younger audience. The average age of people on Instagram is 18 to 35 versus we know that's slightly skewed up for Facebook. It's more around 25 to 40 on Facebook. So Instagram is a great way to reach a younger audience in that way. And then I mentioned TikTok. TikTok is the best way to reach the youngest audience if you're trying to reach youth. So we will jump into Instagram or Insta. You'll hear the kids call it that for organizers. So like I said, the audience demographics skew younger and slightly more urban than the other platforms, where Facebook is seen in like urban, suburban, rural. Twitter is primarily seen in suburban and urban, and then Instagram has a higher following environments, in great part because of the way that the Instagram algorithm works. It's very easy to blow up sort of quickly on Instagram. When you hear that people are social media influencers, I would say 9 times out of 10, that means that they're an Instagram influencer. When someone's job is social media influencer, it used to be that that was more of a YouTube sort of thing, like they were a YouTuber. And now in the past 2 years, that's really shifted to the majority of their time is likely spent on Instagram. And so personal accounts and business or political accounts. Some other popular Instagram accounts are like niche accounts or meme pages that just put out funny visual content. I think Instagram is the trickiest to understand because you just kind of have to spend a lot of time in the platform to understand some of the sort of weird language that's used and the weird humor that exists just within Instagram. And so I will do my best to go over as much as I can, but
show us the weirdness, Faith.
What?
Show us the weirdness.
Okay. I can show you, like, what's a page that I found?
And Faith, while you're looking for that, there was a question. Somebody said that they are hearing more about Link. Is it making a comeback?
Like LinkedIn?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it's LinkedIn that it's Constance's question. So maybe Constance can, and I wondered if it was LinkedIn.
Yeah, I meant LinkedIn. Sorry.
Okay.
So LinkedIn is just like a professional platform. It's like an online resume. I think it's at the same level that it was before. You should have a LinkedIn if you like are a working adult, in my opinion. Your level of usage on it, whether you're sharing like articles and constantly liking other people's stuff, really depends on what field you're in. So being in the political field, I really don't use my LinkedIn all that much. I make sure I update it with anything that like happens, but that's about it. So this is an example of like a very popular, weird Instagram account. It's called Memezar. It has 18.1 million followers, which is a lot. And it just posts memes. So like, here's an example of a meme where it's like spy movie directors deciding what accent the bad guy should have. You know, or like, here's, you know, so this is an example of a page that can easily blow up on Instagram. And really quick, in terms of niche accounts, I wanted to show you guys, it's called World Record Egg. So this started after Kylie Jenner posted the most liked photo on Instagram. I don't remember what it was. I think it was with her daughter. And then this account started and it called itself World Record Egg. It only had one singular photo. And then we'll scroll all the way down to it. It had one singular photo. And it just said, let's set a world record together and get the most liked post on Instagram, beating the current world record held by Kylie Jenner, 18 million. We got this. And it did. This post has been liked, I think something absurd, like 40 million times. The previous record was 18 million. And so when I was in a previous training where they talked about this, when someone else did the math, it was something like 1/8 of Instagram users had liked this picture of an egg. And so because of that, this account has blown up and started making like other content of the egg doing funny things. So that's just like one weird
thank you.
Of things that could blow up on Instagram. So the content is visual, but it's important to remember with like the visual storytelling aspect that captions are very important. And we'll go into what makes a good caption and some different examples.
Okay, and so just real quickly, Faith, one of the questions is your terminology saying something blows up. Are you referring to it gets a lot of likes and followers.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
When I mean like blows up, I mean it gets a lot of engagement.
Right.
It will be at the top of a lot of people's dashboards. It might make it into additional news sources. So, I mean, this is the goal on any social media platform. But I think I didn't even mention this in Twitter, this element of it, but it's really great if you can get a post to get a lot of likes, a lot of engagement, or even if it doesn't have that many likes, if it touches on something that's super relevant, what you will get super lucky with is if it's picked up by a source like BuzzFeed or what else, like commonly? Well, I always think of BuzzFeed, so I'll just say that one. And so say there's like a popular hashtag going around, and even if your tweet only got like 20 likes, if you wrote something funny that had to do with this hashtag or something super relevant, it's still super likely that a news source will pick up your tweet and put it in a separate article. And so then your tweet will get even more attention. And so by blow up, it doesn't even always mean that your post got a lot of likes. It just means that in some way it has gained more internet popularity than it would have like normally had. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. And then maybe further on, people are asking to recommend a couple of favorite Instagram sites that we can look at to get some ideas and kind of see how it operates.
Yeah. I might need to like come back with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So with visual storytelling, use it to build a relationship with your audience. What I love about Instagram is there's far more opportunities to open up the platform for more engagement. So with a Facebook post or with a Twitter, with a tweet, you're really limited in the ways that the audience can engage with you. There's basically liking, commenting, and Twitter and Facebook have now added some poll options, but on Instagram, you have so many ways that you can interact with your audience. And we'll get into some of those. There's polls, there's quizzes, there's comment, like. I mean, comment and like are still the most popular, but there's so many ways to build a true relationship with your followers on Instagram. Thatcher is helping too. So the basics of Instagram are it's visual. A lot of the language from Twitter is the same on Instagram. It's still a handle / username, your display name, hashtags, followers. But I think arguably hashtags are a little bit more important on Instagram because they are used a lot more on Instagram in terms of like categorizing photos. On Twitter, it's more used to get something trending. And on Instagram, it's not about trending. It's not like a hashtag trends on Instagram. And that's why when I get to I do have a website called top-hashtags.com. It's later in the slides. We'll like talk about it. But I recommend going on there to know what hashtags are popular with what you're trying to say. Because it's not like you will have any sort of side feed that says what hashtags are trending. And then rather than a mention, which is like what you would say on Twitter when you @ someone, it's a tag on Instagram. You tag them in the post, and then you can tag them in two different ways. You can either tag them in the caption section, or you can actually click in the photo and tag them, and we'll show how to do that. Instagram is primarily used from your phone. So I pulled it up on my computer to show you what the dashboard looks like, but you cannot Instagram post from your computer.
Yeah, why is that, Faith? Pardon me. Why is that we can't post from our computer?
I'm not sure. I think it was just made as a phone app, and then it grew in popularity, and then like was transferred to a computer setting. So because I actually like, it's because it started as a phone app. It didn't start as a website.
Thanks.
And I think there are ways to get around it somewhat for like accessibility purposes. If you have the technology to like plug your phone in and like do all of that, but I don't know the technical way to do that. So for our purposes, it's all going to be from your phone.
Okay.
You can like and comment on people's things from your desktop. So, and I sometimes do. I like having the desktop version still. So we will go over the different things, but the three main things on your feed are posts, Instagram TV, and then your tagged posts. And then we'll go over the difference between feed and Instagram stories. Okay. So here's just like a visualization of an Instagram profile. So up here, I just use Lego as the example. Up here, you have the username. And so their username is just @Lego. And then they have the little blue check mark because they're like an official account. Right here, the little like head is their profile picture, but also this blue and orange circle surrounding it. That means that they have an Instagram story posted. And so when you upload Instagram stories, someone will reach it by clicking on your profile picture or on your homepage. Instagram stories make up the whole top portion of your page. And so usually people just click through them up there. But in theory, they could click to your profile, click on your profile picture, and your Instagram stories would pop up. And we'll go into stories more, but the gist of Instagram stories is they are content that lasts for only 24 hours. And it's so hard because in my mind, I just want to say it's the new Snapchat. But I know that might not be the best. But so Instagram stories is a way of documenting things in real time or asking people questions in real time and getting their responses within 24 hours. And then you will sometimes put things on Instagram stories that you want to highlight later. And so right here, these little circles are ones that Lego had as an Instagram story and then created a highlight later. So presumably Force Friday was maybe like May the 4th, which for like May the Force be with you. And so Lego Instagram storied a bunch of content and then they archive it and put it in their highlights. And I'll show how to do that. But so their display name is Lego. Their description, so because they're a business or professional account, there says game/toys. You can choose what you want. I believe that Bold New Democracies says like political page underneath. Their bios right there. And like I recommend on Twitter, I do recommend that you include a hashtag in your bio if you want a certain hashtag to be used with your account. And so Lego says, well, hashtag Lego when you like post anything about us. So they have a link to a website. I think it works for a page like Lego. For most of us, I would recommend you use Linktree. We'll get into that so that you can have multiple links in your page at one time. They have their location. We went over highlights. So this is their Instagram feed, this little like square picture. And this pulls up all of their main posts that they've made that are just like what you typically think of as Instagram are the photos and videos that you upload onto your main feed. Additionally, about a year or two ago, Instagram added Instagram TV, which allows you to upload videos that are longer than 1 minute. So previously, you had to upload all of your videos in 1 minute cut clips, which you still may choose to do that, but you can also upload the full thing on Instagram TV. Lego has opted to have the business account. I don't think that's relevant for any of us unless you plan to create a shop Instagram account, but that's an option. And then the little person in the square over here is all of their tagged posts. So anytime that someone clicked on the photo and tagged Lego will show up there. So your standard Instagram post options for your feed are you can either have it be a square, which it used to be on Instagram that every photo had to be a square. That changed about 4 years ago. And so you now can have a full rectangle size photo. So that's a full size photo, and then a video. And a video on your normal feed does have to be cut into minute sections. I really love the phone app called Cut Story. It's free. It does like put a little watermark in the corner for the free version, but like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with someone knowing I cut the clip. And what that does is it cuts it into minute-long sections so that on your feed, you can upload up to 10 like photos or videos. And what will happen in that case is the post will upload and someone will swipe through and see all 10 things that were posted. And we'll show an example of that later. And so this is just an example of what I think is a pretty good Instagram post from Innovation Ohio. I might on the next slide like get into it more deeply. I don't remember, but I'm just going to say it now just in case. So there are also 3 types of posts in your, there are a mixture of things that you'll include in your feed. You will have both photographs and like slash videos and creative visuals. So this is an example of a creative visual where it's not a photo of anyone. It's just something that Innovation Ohio made in, likely in Canva, which is what I like really recommend. It's very user-friendly. There are so many YouTube videos that go over how to use Canva. If you ever have questions, I'm happy to answer them with that. And so here is the post, the caption of this post, and it's, it's roses are red, the stories are true, discrimination is legal in Ohio, but there is something we can do. Tell your lawmakers to pass the hashtag Ohio Fairness Act. And then they put an arrow, link in bio. And so this is, they included emojis, but not an excessive amount, and that's eye-capturing. The caption itself is very creative. It was posted on Valentine's Day, and so they thought of, okay, roses are red, you know, like classic poem. They had a very specific call to action, tell your lawmakers to pass the Ohio Fairness Act. They included OH Fairness Act was the hashtag that was being used. They searched ahead of time and saw, okay, how are people hashtagging this? Are they writing hashtag Ohio Fairness Act, OH Fairness Act? And when they searched, they saw, okay, more people are using OH Fairness Act. And then hashtag link in bio is just the popular hashtag. I know it's not the right grammar, but that is the hashtag that people use when a link is in your bio that you want someone to visit from your post. And then rather than including an excessive amount of hashtags in the actual caption.
Notice that?
What?
I think that was just I'm gonna mute that there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. rather than including an excessive amount of hashtags in their caption part, they responded to themselves as a comment and included a bunch of hashtags there. And they used the staircase method, which we'll go over, of like, that's the best way to hashtag.
Faith,
yeah.
there was a quick question about photos, and you may be going over this later, but it was about the ratio for a 3:2 ratio on pictures, and does that matter? And Simon may want to explain what the question was if that's not clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some like we use Mobilize a decent amount, and Mobilize requires a 3:2 ratio, and sometimes our Facebook pictures don't entirely match up with that. So I was wondering if Instagram requires a specific ratio for their pictures, or if it automatically sizes the pictures.
So when you are posting, you have the ability to resize how you need. You can like zoom in and out. There isn't a certain ratio. I think that there is a limit to like the ratio. I don't know the exact numbers on that. When there is a limit where the photo will not fit in the whole space, I recommend just using, there are different apps. I'm trying to think of the name of the one that I have. Hold on.
So Paul DeMarco said that he uses InstaSize app to get a photo to fit well.
Yes, that's what it is. When I have a photo that's too big, I'll use InstaSize. Luckily, so that used to be a necessity. Like I said, it used to be that photos had to be a square to fit on Instagram. That's no longer the case. You can just choose to click the little expand and have a full size photo without having to use InstaSize. But you know, when I've done a panoramic photo or something else that far exceeds the spacing, then you do have to use InstaSize. And so here we're talking about Instagram TV. So this is for longer videos that don't meet the 1 minute time limit for posts. I showed on my page, pardon me, I only have 2 Instagram stories posted. And one was my Women's March speech. And then the other was just like a video that my little sister made about like different kinds of sunscreen. She's like a biology and political science, save the oceans major. And so on my normal feed, I also included photos from the Women's March, and at the end put my Women's March speech in 3 of the 10 available parts of the post. But I also wanted the ability to just have the full speech up somewhere so people could just click, watch it without having to swipe. And so that's why I uploaded it to my Instagram TV. And then Instagram stories. So this is my favorite part of Instagram to use. It is by far what people should be using way more to catch more attention. So I talked with Richard about this, that I've been trying to upload to the Bold New Democracy Instagram account more. And just by making sure I post a different Instagram story every single day on Bold New Democracy, we have gotten like 20 new followers in the past week. And the followers that we already had that weren't liking our posts are now engaging with our Instagram stories, answering the questions, submitting questions, liking our posts. So for example, I noticed, we've been sharing some people's posts. That's something you can do in stories, is either share your own post, share another person's post. We'll go into how to do this in a second, but I'm just talking about the importance of it. So we shared, Jessica Miranda posted about tax day being moved. And so we shared that. We included some fun gifts about tax day. We included like a hashtag with it, tagged the location as Cincinnati, and now our past 3 posts, Jessica Miranda has liked them, you know, and so that shows like, oh, we shared her post, now she's like consistently engaging with us, which means our posts are now consistently showing up on her feed. And so that's like one example. But so here are some examples of just different Instagram stories that For Our Future is used. So over here on February 18th, we were saying today is the last day you can register. We included a fun background. The don't wait was a GIF, which is super easy to put in on Instagram stories. We looked up hashtag be a voter was a pretty popular hashtag, but it wasn't as popular as just like hashtag vote. So if you just use hashtag vote, there's like a 1 in 2 million chance that someone will see your post when it pops up on the like explore page. Versus if you choose a hashtag that is popular, but not like overused, then you have a higher likelihood of it popping up somewhere. And then Instagram actually has a sticker that's just register to vote, which is so great. You click on the sticker and it takes you straight to the website to register to vote. Instagram Stories has put in so much effort into the sticker options, and it's amazing. So here's another example where we shared one of our Instagram TV posts and just said, check this. Over here, we really liked what ACLU National had in this post, so we just shared it to our story and included like a little sassy GIF saying like, yes, we agree, yeah. This one, like, don't forget to vote. Here's the info, more voting. So over here, Young Activist Coalition, I did a training for them, and they tagged me and tagged For Our Future Ohio in the post. And because they tagged For Our Future Ohio, For Our Future was able to reshare the Instagram story, and then they added the little GIF that was like killing it. So that was fun. And so this is
Faith, there's a question about how do you look up or how do you know what hashtags are popular?
So that's what we'll get to. It's on tophashtags.com. But you can also just, when you are about to use a hashtag, it'll show you next to on your phone screen. It'll show you how popular the hashtag is. So whenever you click like hashtag and start to write a word, hold on. I don't actually know that I have this on the screen. And so, oh wait, yes I do. Yes, I do. When I show how to make a post, it'll pop up. And you'll see how many times it's been used roughly. If it's less than 100 times, it's not going to tell you the exact amount, but you'll know like, okay, it's more than 500 times, more than 1,000 times, less than 1 million, like you'll have a general ballpark. So this is how you actually, what just happened? Okay, this is how you actually share a post to your story. I worried, did I miss my like video of how to make a post? Okay, sorry. I worried that I was jumping ahead. Okay, so this is how you share a post to your story. When it's in your feed or on someone's page, you click the little mail, like little like paper airplane, and then you click add post to your story, and then it pops you up into the story creating screen, and then you would just click this part that says your story, and that is what posts it to your story. It seems counterintuitive because I know you would think like send to, but that's just to send it directly to another person, which you may want to do, but to post it to your story, you just click the little your story button. And so here are some other tools within Instagram stories. You can go live on Instagram stories. I actually noticed last night that Richard and Antoinette's grandson was on live on Instagram for roughly like 8 hours. And throughout the night, he was inviting other people to join his live. So when you're live on Instagram, you can invite other users to be part of the live and their screen will pop up. You know, similar to like what a Zoom call looks like, it'll pop up and anyone can click and watch your Instagram live as it's happening. Okay, the Create tab on Instagram stories is brilliant. It's wonderful. We love the Create tab. The Create tab has made our lives so much easier. So when you open to start an Instagram story, which I think I neglected to actually show how you start it. So I made, hold on. I know I took a video. I'm just going to like send it to my email really quick and then I'll just show it like in a second.
Great job fixing on the fly. I love it.
I'm trying. But so on the Create tab, you can just click and it pops up pre-made templates. So there are some that are like quote of the day, what am I listening to? Like I like this track, or there's some where on the Create tab, you can just upload a GIF and the GIF becomes the entire background. That's actually what I'm going to show that I did and like how I did it. My current Instagram story.
Thank you, Faith.
Normal, you can just make a normal one by you put a photo or a short video that you want. There's also Boomerang, which is a video that goes like back and forth really quick and it's super cute. I love boomerangs. It's a way to, yeah, this is my coworker made this.
I love it. I have 2 furry coworkers too. Thanks, Faith.
I do have 2 furry coworkers. This is my actual in Columbus coworkers, cats.
Oh.
So, Faith, can you talk a little bit about Boomerang though? I mean,
yes.
How to actually, you have to do the action yourself for it to be while you're videoing it, correct?
Yes. So when you swipe to the right, so you'll open Instagram stories, which I'll show how to open it in a video. You open Instagram stories, you swipe to the right and you have Boomerang pop up and you just tap it once, the button, and it gives you a short, like 2 to 3 second clip that goes forward and then in reverse. So here, I will upload a Boomerang to my Instagram story so that I can show it as an example.
Great.
Actually, do something fun. Okay. Judge the like Diet Coke box that he has destroyed in the background, and we haven't gotten to clean up yet. But I will show the Instagram story really quick. Okay, so like I said, it looks different on your phone versus the laptop when you're clicking on something, but you can click here and you can see, okay, here's, so actually I'll just show various things I did. So one thing that gets like popular is people will make just visual content for people to put in their stories, like for fun. And so my friend had tagged me in like choose this plant-based edition, like this or that, because I am vegan. And so then I filled it out and I tagged 3 more people. So I tagged like my sister, Isabella Ginigundo, who runs Young Activist Coalition, and then like a popular vegan account. And then I uploaded like a plain version of it for them to screenshot and put in their story when they fill it out. And then here is an example of a post that I shared. So this is a post that I put on Bold New Democracy's page, a visual post. It's just a quote by FDR. I put little hashtags in the corner that I wanted people to use. And then on my Instagram story, I put be an educated voter, and then had the little GIF, the little GIF that says click here, and the little, like voting signed, sealed, delivered GIF. And so when people click on this, they'll pop up see post, and then they could click directly from my story and get to Bold New Democracy's page and see the posts that I shared. And then here is another, I hope Tatum isn't embarrassed by this one. Had fun with the henna like tattoos last night. And on my Instagram story, I put up a little poll of should Tatum get a floral and geometric half sleeve? And so far, everyone has said, of course. So feel free to go on and vote differently if you feel differently about tattoos. But so like that got engagement. And then here, oh my God. I think I actually uploaded Thatcher's thing to the Bold New Democracy Instagram story. Did I? I didn't. Don't worry. I had a slight moment of panic, but it did not. So, and then here's an example of one that I made in the Create tab, which is there's an option to just do a GIF, and then you can add whatever you want on top of it. So I added, have you requested your mail-in absentee? Mm-hmm. And it's been seen by 44 people. They need to like refresh to get what a boomerang is. Hold on. Why isn't it showing? Oh, here. Oh, shit. So this is a boomerang where it goes back and forth. Mm-hmm. You see, like, and why I think boomerangs are so great is because it's a way to, rather than just a still photo, you get something that's a little bit more exciting, but it doesn't require any sound or anything. So I think boomerangs are so great if you're documenting an event that you're at or a rally that you're at, where if you just were to record a video, it might just sound like a lot of yelling and not coherent. But, pardon me, if you take a boomerang, a bunch of signs and people waving them, or of someone passionately speaking, then this is a way that you can still show some liveliness to what's going on and a little bit more intrigue than just a still photo, without having the kind of distraction of sound.
Okay. So Faith, we have 2 quick questions about
yes.
Instagram story. One is, how do you get into the Instagram story? And the other one is, how do you find a story that's disappeared from the news feed? Is there a way to get back to an old story, or do they expire permanently?
So I'll show directly how to make an Instagram story in just a second.
Okay, thanks.
And then in terms of, you can see your own old Instagram stories. You can't see other people's old Instagram stories unless they've put it in their highlights. Actually, we'll just keep working in Instagram really quick to see. So I don't think you can see your archive from the desktop computer. You can't. But so, I'm just going to like stop sharing my screen for a second so that like you can click on my photo on there and see how you get to see your archive. Is you click these top 3 buttons when you're on. So first, okay, sorry. So if you're on your home screen, you click your little photo to get to your profile. So I'm on my profile. Then you click the 3 lines at the top, and then it'll 7 archive directory below. You want to click archive, and it'll pop up every Instagram story you've ever made. To your old Instagram stories. And it'll also pop up memories sometimes. So I can see as a memory 2 years ago today, I was working for Amy McGrath and like we went to a debate that she did. And so if I wanted to, I could easily click that and like share it. So that's what Archive has, is it archives old Instagram stories, old Instagram posts, and then also shows all of your stories you've ever done.
Okay, and you can repost them yourself.
Yes, you can re-story them if you want.
Right, and how long does it stay visible before it gets archived for other people?
24 hours.
At that 24 hours?
Yeah. And then,
okay, thanks.
Oh, no problem. I forget. What was the other question? I'm so sorry. I spaced out.
No, that's okay. The other question was about how to get to, how do you get into story on your Instagram? And you said you were going to cover that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I will go to my drive to show this. I hope that it uploaded by now. Oh, whoops. I actually uploaded it to Faith Tatum Piper. That's okay. So this is, this is walking through how I made the Instagram post in Create, where it was the GIF with the poll option. Okay. So we'll get to that, but I don't want to lose any time. So we'll keep going on to just show some other things in Instagram story that you can do, and then we'll show how to actually make an Instagram story. So one is layout. That's also in the tab, and that is an option if you want to upload multiple photos at once. So the one that I had of Tatum with the henna tattoos, 3 different photos, and I chose a template that could fit all 3. Highlights, we went over this, but so in your archive, when you click on a previous story, this is, actually I remember now, I had Instagram pulled up. So this is what you can click a little heart at the bottom that says highlights and add it to a highlight or create a new highlight. So I recently put some highlights on Bold New Democracy's page, and you can see there's a highlight for when Fanon and Gabe came, and this is every Instagram story from that night. And so we took probably about 20 Instagram stories documenting that night. We did one with Kate and Nikki. About 2 days ago, we submitted and asked if anyone had any primary related questions. And so these are questions that people submitted. And so when I said on Bold New Democracy's page, I said, do you have any questions about the April 28th primary? And then someone wrote, and so I wrote some directions for them, this is what you need to do. Go to voteohio.gov, fill it out, blah, blah, blah. And then is it too late to request a ballot? And I said, no, but you should send your ballot request form ASAP and put the little mail, And then, whoops, sorry. And then someone said, when does a ballot have to be received? And so I said, your ballot must be postmarked by April 27th, and tried to make it cute. And then said, and received by May 7th. And so that's one example.
Terrific. That's real support to voters, Faith.
Yes, exactly. And so those are examples of highlights where I went to Bold New Democracy's archive page, clicked the heart at the bottom with the word highlight underneath, and then was able to create a highlight.
Great.
That
Wow.
even though those Instagram stories expired in 24 hours, now anytime someone visits our page, they can click on the highlights and see it pop up. You can also add music to your Instagram stories, or I mean, this is a great showing right here of all the things you can add. You can add your location, which I always recommend you do. If you're posting on Instagram story, and really wanting it to be seen by more than just like your personal network, like the one I post, I don't need everyone in Cincinnati to see that. It was just a fun post for my friends. But if you're posting something political you want a lot of people to see, you should tag Cincinnati. So I can show on Bold New Democracy that I've always tagged Cincinnati when I've like posted. You can mention someone, you know, like tag them in the post. You can add a hashtag, add GIFs. You can add as many GIFs as you want on top of the photos or on top of the videos. You can add the time you posted, put a poll, ask questions. And so the questions one is a little deceiving looking, like you wouldn't look at it and know what it is. But so that is the example of like, say you want suggestions on something, that creates where you can ask a question and get responses up to, I believe, like 240 characters. So you could say, like, who is your favorite politician? And people could submit all of their answers. You can do a countdown. So the other day on Bold New Democracy's page, I created a countdown on the Instagram story for like the countdown to when ballots are due, like when ballots must be postmarked by. So for April 27th, and we had 3 people turn on that countdown from our Instagram story. So they saw the countdown on there, they clicked on it, and they turned it on because they want to be updated when it's April 27th and when their ballot needs to be postmarked. Right here is the like little Instagram slide bar, or emoji slide bar, sorry. And this one, you can put any emoji that you want, and people on your Instagram story interact by deciding how much they think it should be. So you could like put a little question, says like, how much do you love this picture of my cat? And put the like little heart eyes, and they can select all the way to the top. You can do a quiz if there's something that has a correct answer or not, like, you know, like how long did Charmaine McGuffey serve in the Hamilton County Sheriff Office? Like, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. You can be like 15 years, 14 years, 27 years, like, and select
33.
What?
33.
33. See, I was lowballing it. Damn. And like people would select what they think it is, and then like a check mark for the correct answer. You can also add a donation sticker. There is the options are limitless for what you can do in Instagram stories. I would have to do an entire 3-hour training to attempt to go over everything that you can do in stories, but mostly it's just play around in it, figure out what you like. I have been on Instagram for 7 years, and I'm still learning new things I can do in Instagram stories. And this is my job to do this stuff. But you can also add music. This is a recent thing. You can either just add the music without posting it, or you can like post what you want on it. And so that means if someone clicks and you just have photos, you can still choose to put like a song that you like behind all of them. So how you can utilize it in different ways is to have an influencer takeover. So for us, this might mean that you have like some political figure takeover. So, you know, like if you have a kind of large campaign team, you could like, hey, we're having our finance director takeover today. And on influencer takeovers or on any sort of Instagram takeovers, people kind of just document their day. So I love when, you know, like say a campaign has an Instagram account and they have the politician take it over for the day and just show us a little behind the scenes in their life. Like I follow a lot of, you know, like Broadway shows and stuff, and they'll have actors take it over and just be like, woke up, like having my coffee every morning. I have 2 cups of black coffee, and then I go to yoga, and then I get my snacks. Here I am backstage, or like, here I am prepping for my speech, blah, blah, blah. Like people love that kind of stuff on Instagram. You can use it to celebrate volunteers and staff. So if you have a really super volunteer, you can always give them a little shout out in the Instagram story. Or, so my sister is on the Ohio University rowing team, and every week they choose a different person to highlight from the team and just put some like fun little about them, you know. And so like, I think I cut this slide, but like with my sister, they put like, she's been a lifelong vegetarian and she's human sciences, and it's not related to rowing at all, but it's just like, and she is our regatta chair, and like just a little behind the scenes. So we could, for Bold New Democracy, be like, here's Richard, here's some fun facts you might not have known about him. He's our president leader, or no, Dan is our president, I'm very sorry.
Organizing.
Yeah. You can do event reminders, you can share events in real time. I think that's the most popular, is sharing things in real time. And you can also create quick content for other platforms. If you don't have the time to go into Canva or Photoshop, it's super easy to just go up into Instagram stories, make a little create file that creates like a visual thing, and then just click the save download button. Okay, so let's see if this is downloaded yet, the actual how-to. Okay, it has. Okay. Oh, I think I'm probably sharing the wrong screen. Hold on. Let me change what screen I'm sharing so that I can share the how.
So while you're doing that, Faith, there's just a question about Bold New Democracy. If there are other ways during regular meetings that we can make it more interactive once you get back to Urban Artifact. Right now, you live stream on your private page and you post a few photos. But anyway, just a thought for the future. Dan,
yeah, no, there
Dan
absolutely is. I think that, you know, I try to every so often post stories. I think it would be helpful if multiple of us could be doing it, because, you know, I think we did a good job with the Fanon and Gabe and Kate and Nikki ones. But even in our regular meetings, during using Instagram stories, we could document things that are happening. We could get other people's insight into things, like, you know, even just put like funny things. Like you could be like, oh, like how on point is so-and-so's outfit today, like one of our speakers' outfits, and put the little slide bar with the fire emoji. Or like how much do we stan a good like political like thing. And so stan is like, it's like stock fan, which doesn't sound, how it's used is like, how much do we like love this? And I love the word stan for Instagram purposes. Like,
so Karen needs to use that for Frady Sadie.
Yes. Or like I could say like, I stan Charmaine McGuffey. I am like a mega fan of Charmaine McGuffey. I stan her. And so like, we could post kind of these funny Instagram, like internet only phrases, which I think that would get at least particularly more engagement from like younger people, because we need more of us to start coming to Bold New Democracy.
Yes. Pardon me, Faith. How would it, are these things all being done at the same time? As a facilitator of those work sessions, it would seem distracting to me if they were being done in real time? How do you do that and at the same time keep the focus of 30 or 35 people working collaboratively?
I think that's a delicate balance. Has it been distracting when I've done it in the past?
No, I didn't realize you were doing it. You must
Exactly.
be really good.
Then we're doing our job right. I think it would be distracting if like you were speaking and trying to do it. But if all of us just like, you know, so for example, Richard, like you don't usually join the little group sessions when we break out. And so if you took like 2 minutes during that time to snap a photo and like write a little like, right now everyone is in their group sessions, like list each group we have, which group would you join if you were
cool.
Democracy, and like let people answer that, post it to our story.
That's great.
You know, just a thought, when we have our either our featured guests working with us or even the people that are popping in to give us an update on a quick update, you know, that's something that could be filmed in a 20 to 30 second video. Hey,
yeah,
exactly.
Perfect.
That could go out on Facebook and Instagram. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So here I will share how to post an Instagram story. This is probably a little bit longer because I did some like fun stuff in it. So I'm just going to like show you the beginning and then kind of zoom through it. So you click, oh, I wish I would have highlighted that. Okay, so you click this little camera in the left right corner when you open up your Instagram. And so when you click that, it opens you up to the story page. It defaults to the camera part. So if you like glance, you can see a little, like I quickly didn't want my like double chin showing. And so it opens that up. And then I swiped to the left to the create tab. And so when I was on the create tab, I then swiped through these and I decided, probably there are different options. You can do you can do a throwback, ask a question. I just wanted to show some of the various create options. I chose to do a GIF. And so I searched and I wanted to find like a really cool vote GIF sort of thing. So I really liked this one. I thought it was like super graphic and appealing and like it would draw people's attention when they got to it. And so then I added the ask a question because I wanted to know, have people already requested their mail-in ballot? And so then I got a little bit fancy and I like ended up using like the typewriter to make like rectangles in the background, but that's like a little bit fancy. And then I wanted it to be black. And so it ended up looking like this at the end. And that's what I shared. And so, oh, hold on. I wish that it would have shown like how you do it. And then in the bottom left corner, here, I'll make it. Well, in the bottom left corner where it says your story, that's what you click to upload it to your story. That's how you create an Instagram story. But you can really just play around in the thing, but that's the gist of you click the little camera button, you swipe to whatever screen you want, experiment with like the different screens. We'll have to do a follow-up kind of homework session anyway, and I'm totally open to that. Richard can go over the details of that at the end. But we will include more in-depth about Instagram stories in that section for further questions about that. But we need to move on right now with some of the more basics. So that was the gist of Instagram stories. The best practices for hashtags are to use the staircase method, which we'll go over in the next slide. Use different combinations. Don't keep reusing the same hashtags on every single post. Don't use hashtags that are just totally irrelevant. people should look at your hashtags and know what you're trying to get across. They shouldn't just be like random words. You can include up to 30. Don't ever include 2 to 4 on your post. And then, like I showed, respond with further hashtags because people won't see that in the comments as much. On Instagram TV, you're limited to 1 or 2 impactful hashtags. It's useful for getting on the Explore. And so the Explore page is rather than just the people you follow. So unlike Twitter, you can blow up on Instagram because people go to the Explore page all the time. I have followed so many people from the Explore page because it's just content that like it thinks you will like. So if you use a hashtag that's like really good, then you are way more likely to pop up on the Explore page and someone see your post, see your video. It's great. On your stories, you can include up to 10. Also don't use like, I don't think you should ever use 4 hashtags on a story, actually. Like it says 4, I think 2 to 3 is max. So the staircase method is a tactic to use. So I like using top-hashtags.com, which I mentioned. And you should aim to use about 10 hashtags total in your follow-up comment. So not in the initial post, but in your follow-up comment. And you want to try to use one that's been used 1 million to 10 million times. And then about, oh my gosh, that's way more than I thought. Okay, like 10 that have been used 1 million to 10 million, 10 that have been used 300 to 900,000 times, and then 9 that have been used 100,000 or less. In a smaller market, alter those numbers a bit. You know, Cincinnati politics hasn't been used even close to 100,000 times, but in terms of the Cincinnati hashtags, it's been used significantly more than like Cincy politics. So, you know, okay, I should write out all of Cincinnati politics. I'll show on Bold New Democracy's post that, so you can see here, this was our most recent post, and the caption itself says, make sure you're educated about who to vote for in the Ohio vote by mail primary, include 3 cute little emojis, and then said, check out the link in bio for our endorsements on our website. Hashtag Ohio votes early, hashtag Cincinnati politics. So I looked up and saw, okay, a lot of the boards of education are using OH votes early. A lot of campaigns are using OH votes early, blah, blah, blah. And then I commented on our post and I used just a bunch of hashtags that related to it. So I saw, okay, hashtag vote has something like 150 million times it's been used. Hashtag OH votes has a little bit less. Hashtag be a voter, hashtag vote 2020, you know, hashtag every vote counts. And I did that by going to top-hashtags.com and I just searched vote and I saw, okay, what hashtags are being used with the word vote in them? And like, then I like looked up what hashtags with Cincinnati are being used. And so that was that. Oh, this is like, again, I think that this is a great example of a hashtag. A good call to action in your hashtag, in your caption. So, you know, in the post I just showed from Bold New Democracy, I said, visit the link in our bio. We want you to read this article. We want you to visit our website. We want you to do all of this.
So Faith, I have a quick question about the link in your bio. So that takes them back to your homepage, or do you set something up that automatically takes them, say, to your endorsement page? How does that interaction work?
So you can include whatever link you want in your bio. I'm going to go over Linktree, but I can just right now show an example. So I created a Linktree for Bold New Democracy. This is the link that's in our bio. Let me see what's currently in Charmaine's. Okay, so Charmaine currently just has McGuffeyforSheriff.com as the link in her bio. But so if you go to Bold New Democracy, when say link in bio, people will click this and they'll be taken to our link tree. And so if I said, check out the Charmaine McGuffey article, the 7 questions article, then people would get to this page and they'd be like, oh, I should probably click the thing that says 7 questions. Or when in the most recent post I showed where I said, check out our website to see our endorsements. And so they would click on our website and then be brought to our page and be able to search whatever they wanted. And so it just opens up the possibilities when you use Linktree because you can include more.
So you set that up in advance so that when Linktree showed up, these 4 boxes showed up.
Yes, and you can put whatever you want. So people can like click, get directly to our Facebook, to our Twitter account. Yeah, so it's all linked together. You can tag people and organizations. So here's like a post that I did of a Bold New Democracy meeting. And I show like, I tried to tag everyone that I knew their Instagram or could find it relatively easily. And so some of you should have gotten that like Instagram notification that you were tagged. And then this is a how-to video on just how to make an Instagram post. I'm sorry, I probably should have included this way earlier in the slides. And so I have learned from this that much. So this is how you just make a post. You go, so you click the little, my stuff keeps getting in the way. So when you're on your home page, you have this little square with the plus sign. That's what you click. It opens up to all of your photos. And so I just saved this random photo of a tree. And then I didn't like how this was cropped. See, it would have like cut off the top. And I said, okay, I want this to be a full-size picture. So I click this little button in the corner. And so that makes it full screen. You're able to just use your fingers to adjust where you want the photo to be spaced. It gives you these little grid lines in case you need to like center it. Those just automatically pop up when you're trying to resize. So I realized like, okay, I have to cut off a little bit because of the dimensions no matter what. And so I wanted to figure out where do I want to cut it off. And then when I was set with where I wanted it to be, I clicked the next button up there. When you click it initially after resizing, it takes you to the filters. And you can just swipe through, select whatever filter you want. You can click on all of them. And so I like chose a filter. And then what I really like using is rather than the, this is so annoying. It keeps giving me like the smallest little bar at the bottom that I keep clicking on accident. Rather than the filter side, I like using the edit side a little bit more because it gives you even more control over the photos. But in the meantime, you can just slap a filter on it that makes it look good and go on. But if you do want to like mess with the edit, I like quickly show just some things. I brightened it some. I made I upped the contrast, or I downed the contrast. I like that look. You know, added more structure, and then said, okay, that's what I want. And so here I made just like a little like test caption, make a better caption, but that's just where you can write your captions. You can add emojis to it. I think I ended up adding like a tree emoji. And then you do the hashtags by just writing the like # button. And then, so this is where I was saying that, oh my gosh, it was so dumb to do this. Okay, so when you click the hashtag and you start to write a word, it will pop up how many times that hashtag has been used. So I was not smart in this video and I did a hashtag that's never been used. But if you had started to write hashtag vote, you can see where it popped up this menu. And it says searching for hashtag staircase hashtags. That's never been used. But if you started to write hashtag vote, it would pop up right here on the screen, hashtag vote, and over here, it would show 15.1 mil. And that's how you would know, okay, hashtag vote has been used 15 million times. And that's why it's a like popular hashtag. And so while you can use top-hashtags.com, it's also kind of just guessing. You got to spend some time when making your caption to say like, okay, I'll try hashtag vote, see how often that's been used. Oh, it's 15.1, that's a little bit more. That's too much, it's not going to be seen. Okay, what if I do hashtag OH vote? Oh, that's at 120,000. That's prime amount we want. So it's some playing around. You can use websites to try to figure it out, but it's also just playing around. And then, so this is, you click tag people, and I chose to make believe tag the Sierra Club of Ohio. And so like, say my call to action or had been like, or not call to action, but had been like, so thankful for the Sierra Club doing XYZ to save this tree. I don't know if that's what they do. I don't think so. And so I tagged them in the post. I could add the location of Over the Rhine. Here are like all the different like accounts I could have, oh my gosh, okay. And so then you can select this tab over here or right here to automatically post your Instagram story to your Facebook. So why I like Instagram is you can kind of use it to fulfill every platform. You can automatically send it to your Facebook, send it to your Twitter, and it doesn't work in the reverse way. So you can use Instagram in theory for almost all of your posts. If you're smart about your captions, they could work for Twitter as well, or for Facebook as well. And it's so easy to create a visually appealing thing in Instagram versus the other platforms. Whereas, you know, even though Facebook and Twitter are more about the words, like I said in the previous training, you always want a piece of media. And so if you go through Instagram and do it, then you automatically have a photo or a video or something that's associated with it. And then you just click share to actually post it. I didn't end up clicking share because I didn't want to post this, but.
Faith, we have about 10 minutes left.
Okay. So we will try to speed through, but I still want to leave like 5 minutes for questions.
Yeah, I do have some questions that we can do if you'll give us about 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So this is how you optimize your Instagram profile. You want to convert to a business profile so you can see your analytics. I might save how to do that until the very end because you really only need to do that unless you're running like a politician's page or an organization's page. It's nice for your personal if you really care about analytics. And if you were to become like a true blue influencer, then you would convert. But otherwise, there's not really a need. So I said use Linktree, put the mission statement in the bio, utilize the highlights function, and then avoid a clunky handle if you can. Just make it first name, last name, or something like that. This is the steps to convert your account to a business account. So if you're interested in that, we don't even need to go over it. At the end, this is just how to do it. Whole New Democracy is already set up as a business account. I don't know if Charmaine is. I don't know if like the West Side Dems or stuff like that, but I recommend everything like that. If you're a club or something, you convert.
Pardon me, Faith, would you be generous again, like you were with the Twitter training, to make these slides, the PowerPoint slides, available to the members here? I won't send it out to our 1,200, but I will send it out to the 23 that are taking part.
Yes.
Thanks.
And so everyone that attended the last one, I sent you the full slides anyway. I'm going to add the additional videos that I took So just so you know, this will be more updated than what you were sent previously. And so some key metrics on posts are likes, comments, and this is stuff you can see in your business profile. You can see like how many DMs were sent, how many saves, how many people saved the post, how many people visited your profile because of the post. This is all business stuff. If you guys are okay with it, I'm going to finish up the basic stuff and then at the end, take about 10 minutes to go over the business side because I think that it's absolutely worth it to go over that for those that will be using it a little bit more. So after questions, we'll take 10 minutes to do that. Sometimes simple is better. I showed the whole new democracy post that I had just made, but it was just visual. Here is For Our Futures post from the day of the Women's March. These are actually my shoes. It's posted like, it's just my shoes that say it's a man's world and it's like crossed out. And so, you know, I sent them a dozen posts of me talking, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, we love just the clean, simple. That's one. And then this is the like toolbox of the things that I recommend you do and use. So like Canva is what I brought up. And then here's some different sources. So on Instagram stories, a lot of times if you're going to be recording something where you're talking, it's very wise to include captions if you are able to, just for those who might have hearing impairments or might be hard of hearing. And so I really like Clip-O-Matic. It does cost, I think like $3.99 for the app, but it's a one-time cost. You pay $4, you have it forever. If any of you ever watch AOC's Instagram stories, she uses it all the time because what Clip-O-Matic does is you upload the video that you want to put in your Instagram story or on your Instagram, and it automatically captions it, and then you just go through and tweak it a little bit. And it's nice because it's like, you can move where you want the words to be. It's just super user-friendly. You can, if you don't want to spend the $4, take it into iMovie, type it all yourself. Clip-O-Matic, the $4 is way worth it. And so I'll now answer any questions before going back to the business analytics stuff.
Okay, so I'm just reading some have already been answered. One question was, when you post to a story, does it automatically show up in your feed?
No, so it only shows up if someone clicks on your profile picture or if on their feed. There's always a top portion. Here, I actually will show what this looks like. There is always a top part. So on your desktop, it's over to the side. On your phone, it's just going to run along the top part of your phone when you open Instagram, but it's way easier to show desktop. So over here, you can see right here, it says all of my Instagram stories. So you can see like a lot of people have Instagram stories right now.
And is that Christine Zevin there, I believe, is that right?
I miss her.
No, I think he means the
Funny
picture.
Photo.
Oh.
I should look so good.
That's how people will see your Instagram stories is by like clicking on it here. And then they can just go through all of their friends' Instagram stories.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, the link in bio is used because you can't put links inside Instagram posts. Is that correct?
So yes, you can't put links inside Instagram posts. And on your Instagram, you only have one link. And so that's why Linktree is used, because you can only have one link. If you want people to be able to visit your website and article that you're talking about, your Facebook, your Twitter, and your shop, or like your donation tab. You want to be able to include all of those things in the link in your Instagram bio. And so it creates a way that you can do that. But yeah, if you, so Right now, For Our Future has a promoted post, which like is the business thing where you can pay to have a post start popping up more for people. And that's something that Matt did. And he put the link in the caption. And unfortunately, there's no way to actually copy and paste from the caption or click on it in the caption. And so it's in the caption, but there's nothing people can do with it. And so that's something that like we can learn from that and know, okay, from now on, we need to put link in bio, or on the promote actual part, you can click that and it'll take you if you're actually paying for the content. But if you're not paying for the post and you're just trying to get some authentic, organic engagement, then you would just put link in bio and then it would pop up to that.
Okay, and I think this might be the final question, and then there's a request. How do we create a post with 10 photos we can flip through? Because you mentioned you can use up to 10.
Yes. Let me go back to the little video that I had. And I'll stop on the photo or stop on the video to show you how to do it. Okay, I will pause it. So this button over here is the button that you would click where it has the multiple photos layered on top of each other. Do you see the little circle there? And so you would click on that, and then that would allow you to, it would pop up little circles in your photos and allow you to check mark which 10 you want, or which 10 videos or whatnot that you want. And then additionally, if you want to include multiple photos in like just a singular photo, like want to create a collage, you can click this button here, which is the layout button, and you can select up to 9 photos to put all in a layout. I don't recommend really ever doing a 3x3. I think it makes the photos a little bit too small. Most I would do is 4.
Okay.
Like layout version.
Okay. Then there's one final question, and 2 people who were not able to attend last week's training with you wanted to know if they could also receive the slides that you sent to the rest of us from last week.
Yes, yeah, it'll be the full slides.
Okay, good. Okay, and so, then Richard's Mary question, Carol. Do you want to ask your question, Richard?
Yeah, thank you. I have 2, or one is a point that when we get the slides, we'll need to scroll down to get to this Instagram part.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So for those that haven't seen those, the Twitter will be at the start, and then the Instagram will be perhaps halfway through or so.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. And my question is, who owns Instagram, and is the company or person socially responsible?
Facebook now owns Instagram. So we probably all have our thoughts about Mark Zuckerberg. I think that I am of the belief, I think it's okay, I guess. I mean, not okay, like, you are free to do your own research on Mark Zuckerberg. Instagram is separate Facebook, but they did buy Instagram like 2 years ago. So I think it still has a different CEO, different stuff like that, but they are now owned by Facebook.
Terrific. Yes, so we've done a long stretch. I know you're interested in the analytics. Should we ask for those that want to stay after school to, if they'd like to learn the analytics part, and for some they might want to, this might be a polite time to, or in a moment, a polite time to leave. Before you leave, Marty, just one moment though, because I have an announcement. Would that be all right with you, Faith?
Yes, that's perfect. I just want to make sure everyone knows that we will be doing a homework session.
Yeah, when is that date again? I don't have that in front of me.
It's Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Thursday at 1. This does remind me of when I got to calculus in high school, and I was fairly good in algebra and trigonometry and that, and I got to calculus, and I felt like this is another planet.
Yes,
So,
that's exactly how I felt. And what's ironic is my calculus teacher is a major Cincinnati Instagram influencer.
wow. Oh, good.
Her mommy blog is called Ruby and Francis, and she's like major. And then my English teacher from high school has the second largest Instagram account in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Influencers.
Let's get them to
Fashion
come to
blog.
Bold
So,
New Democracy.
Turpin High School.
Okay, we'll invite them to Bold New Democracy.
Yes.
So this is there any other questions before, in a moment, we'll invite those that want to stay after to learn. And how long do you expect that to last about, Faith?
I think like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so if you'd like the extra credit and to go to the analytics part, then please stay. If you, it's polite, if you wish to leave, that's fine. I will keep, since I'm the host, I will stay. And also maybe there's hope for me learning this. But the, otherwise, and I'll send out an email with these PowerPoint slide. Thank you so much for sharing this, Faith. And also for the announcement about the Thursday at 1 o'clock practice time for those wanting to go deeper, and that would be helpful.
Another
Thank
awesome
you.
training,
And
Faith.
Bye, Marty.
Bye-bye.
I'm hanging in.
Okay, good. Bye, Paul. Bye, Karen.
Oh, I love that. Christine said hashtag train with Faith. We got to get that trending now.
Nice. Thank you.
Hey, Charmaine.
Bye.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, hi.
Okay, Charmaine, we expect that you're going to be an expert in the next 24 hours on Instagram
Yes.
Certainly, yeah.
in your spare time.
Right.
Right.
She's been bringing me water and chocolate. It's my support team here.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So I think those that want to stay are staying. And if you need to go, please do. Faith, you're remarkable. I love your enthusiasm and energy, but also your expertise with it and to be able to manipulate. Although I do get a little satisfaction when you get lost a little bit, because I think, well, there's hope. Even an expert gets lost.
Yes, no, like I said, one, it's always changing.
Yeah.
So like, there's so much to it. You can study this, do communications, and still learn new things every day.
Terrific. Okay, Faith, into the analytics, 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yes. Okay. So this only works for analytics if you have a business profile set up. And so I think business makes it doesn't need to be a business. Like you yourself could be your business. And the way to do that is so it's also called a professional account. And so you go into the mobile app, tap the little sun settings button, and this is a good thing. If you have a private account, you can't get analytics. You can't, because you're not going to ever pop up on the explore page or ever grow unless you get sort of organic growth, which is like you reaching out to friends and having them. So again, unless you're sharing like super personal stuff, it's the same with Twitter that I recommend you just like have a public account. And so you can do that by setting up the profile. So I'm going to actually show Bold New Democracies quickly so that you can see a visual of what it looks like. Oh no! Oh, I'm not logged in on my computer to Bold New Democracy, so never mind. We will just show it in screen capture form. So this is what it looks like to Bold New Democracy administrators when they click on analytics or insights. So instead of analytics, it's called post insights. And so if you click on your personal profile and click on a post, So this is just an example of one from March 31st. I posted on Instagram when we were all like doing the Zoom call for the first time.
Yeah.
And so it says like, this wasn't a great caption, so don't judge me on my caption making skills. I should have been better, but it's like, COVID-19 doesn't stop Bold New Democracy from meeting. Our Zoom meeting this week has been going great. And I tagged everyone in the post and whatnot. And then when you click on View Insights, it pulls up this page over here where you can see, okay, on this post, it got 8 likes total. It got 1 comment. It was sent or posted to someone's Instagram story twice. So that means someone either posted it on their personal story or sent it to another person twice, which is pretty good. And then over here, it's 0. If someone clicked this little ribbon button, you can save posts that you really like. I've never used that feature. I know my little sister does. So I think it's popular with like younger people if they want to, if an event is like, so if you post something about an event that's coming up and they want to remember the date, they might save it. And so that's a time when you would look for this tool. Because of this post, we got 3 profile visits that we can directly trace back to this post. It reached 60 people total, and then there were 3 actions taken from the post, and that was the 3 profile visits. So it reached 60 accounts, like I said, and then 6% weren't following Bold New Democracy. Mm-hmm. So that means from these 2 that were sent out, this means it was sent out. I know one of them was mine. I posted it to my personal Instagram story and said like, check this out, having fun on Zoom or something like that. And that means that at least, wait, is that 6% is, oh my God, why can't I do this? I can't do 6% of 60 in my head, and I know I should be able to, and like I can't.
It's about 4.
What?
It's about 4.
4, great. Okay, 4 people visited this post because of like, presumably my Instagram story. And so it was 77 total impressions. And we know this is 67 were from people's homepage. So this is 67 of the impressions were people that were already following us. And then 10 were people that weren't. And so this was kind of before Bold New Democracy had anything big happening. Just within the past week, we've really, really grown. Yeah,
this was early for Instagram Bold New Democracy, right? Weren't you and Dan just starting to get this set up?
No, this was like March 31st, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But so we, the post that Matt promoted currently has 56 likes. So, you know, we only have 8 on this one, but our most recent post has 56. And just the one that I uploaded last night already has 5, which is a lot. We're still really trying to grow. But that's hopeful that we're really increasing more than we had before, and reaching more. And so that's how you can use Insights to see that. Here is a Linktree preview of what it looks like from the administrator side. I like just made the Linktree for Bold New Democracy, so I'll send that information to Dan and you, Richard, so you can like change it however you want. I didn't know Bold New Democracy's email, so we'll have to like change that to be whatever the email associated with the Instagram account is. We'll make sure that's associated with the Linktree. I just like have it with my email because I just wanted to have it for the example. And you can add a new link. You put the title for the link, and then you put the link itself, and then it turns green when it's like, okay. And so this one was like, this was Innovation Ohio's, and it's like, donate to Innovation Ohio. They were having a rally on March 18th, like RSVP now. That might have been the rally that was canceled, actually. And so that's the basics of what it looks like on the insights side. And then here are the key metrics that you will be able to get to if you have a business profile. And so I want to make sure this is right. Yeah, so if you just click on your profile and then click the 3 lines at the top and then click insights, this is where you get all of your insights, not just on specific posts. So you can see a broader span of who your audience is. So here we can see a breakdown of Bold New Democracy's audience. Here, I'm going to go off screen sharing so you can see it a little bit bigger. You can see an overview of Bold New Democracy's audience. So you can see that Bold New Democracy's top location of followers is by far Cincinnati. We have a few in Columbus, 1 in Springfield, 1 in New York, and 1 in Cleveland. And then we can see that this is the age range for all the followers of Bold New Democracy. You can see like the percentage that are men, the percentage that are women. Our average age range for followers is 25 to 44.
Yeah.
It's 61% women, 39% men.
Mm-hmm.
We can see like the change in our followers by the days and the hours.
Mm-hmm.
All in insights in your audience, the activity, you can see like the increase in interactions, the website clicks. So we can see that just yesterday we had 2 website clicks happen because
Terrific.
like Instagram posts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Faith, just a quick question. So I just went on Charmaine's Instagram and the 3 little dots just take me to that the last post, like it's giving me the option of deleting it or hiding it or whatever. So does that mean?
Are you logged into Charmaine's?
Yes, I am logged in.
Okay.
So that may mean that she doesn't have a business account.
Let me see if she does. She does. She has. Yeah, it says political candidate underneath. So what you need to do is click the profile button right there.
Yep.
And then click.
Oh,
3
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then after I do that, so I get something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then where do I go?
The 3 lines at the top right corner.
Okay. And that's in your activity.
It's insights.
I'm sorry, insights. Got it. Okay, thank you.
No
so
problem.
Chris, that answers your question. We do have a business account.
Terrific.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. And so this is just a quick reference guide of the like key metrics to look to. So likes, comments, comments are a high quality measure of engagement. First you want to up your likes. That's the easiest, it's still hard, easiest thing to increase. And then when you start getting comments, that's a really good sign. Direct messages sent. So this is like how many times it was sent, like I said, or posted to an Instagram story, which it seems counterintuitive. You would think it's just the DMs. How many times it's saved, the profile visits from it, blah, blah, blah. On the profile side, that's what I was showing in insights. You can see the reach versus the impressions. So the reach is like, how far away from your main followers did this get?
Wow.
I don't know of like Bold New Democracy and myself, like none of my posts have ever made it more than 1 step away. You know, was it like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever gotten like 2 degrees away, and same with Bold New Democracy. But in theory, you could see, okay, it made it like all the way, like someone sent it, someone else clicked, someone sent it, so, you know, and so you could see it. shows your growth, the geography, the demographics. And what I think is the best part, the absolute best part, is it shows when your followers are active.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there isn't like the same sort of useful tool like TweetDeck where you can free schedule posts on Instagram. I don't know of anything that doesn't cost money. And I don't think any of us are like so focused on Instagram that we would like pay money for that. Mm-hmm. But you can at least know like, oh, I should set an alarm to make this Instagram post at this time because I know that that's when my followers are the most. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. Our followers mostly are on Thursdays.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
I love that.
Yeah. And at 9:00 at night, by the way.
Oh, there
wow.
You go.
How many followers are there, Mary Carol? Because I'd love after the 28th and when we're in the next election cycle, how to grow that with all those metrics.
Right. So
it's going to be so important.
We have 433 followers.
Right.
What I wasn't sure, what I didn't follow, Faith, was how you knew the reach. I didn't quite get that. Like how far away from Charmaine's main group?
Yeah, so that's on the individual post. You can't see like in general, but you can see per post.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. That's if you go to the view insights on the post and then like, yeah. And so, yeah.
Well, Mary Carol, if you wish somewhat when, after the April 28th, I think goals and getting groups and being an organizer to be able to grow this with impressions or interactions, and then we can follow, and that'll give more motivation to really expand the power.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Any other final questions before we go?
Yeah. Do you do individual training sessions?
Yes, we do.
Sure.
I'll call you.
Nikki.
I just asked this earlier when you gave how one was 10 million and then it jumped to like 40 million. The thing that comes up in my mind, having listened to Rachel Maddow's, is there any way to know or find out if those are, that much of a jump, that it's not these Russians in some small town posing as Americans with American names? And I mean, that's kind of, they've tracked that according to her
I mean,
book.
You can click on the profiles and know if it's like a bot. But yeah, that's like legitimate. There are like robo accounts that pop up. I think Instagram and Twitter are doing their best to, moderate that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
I would be very, very shocked if the Russians choose to infiltrate Bold New Democracy or the Inland Empire. But
my thought, Richard, was
stranger things have happened.
My thought was we're going to be losing a lot of the fun, festive part of candidates' calendars with parades, and festivals and things like that. So looking forward, campaigns are going to have to get creative with how type of interactions, not with this for people that are already in their corner, but the type you'd have on the street at a parade.
That's right.
Right.
Right. Perfect, Dan.
Harvest
I also
Home.
wanted to ask you, Dan, this is a personal question in a way, for the email that Faith mentioned for Instagram. Now, it's because I keep track of inviting the people to our events and work sessions and all. So that makes in that sense. But on the other hand, you and Faith are much more focused into and skillful with Instagram. Would your email be more appropriate than mine or Faith's?
For Instagram?
Yeah.
It's useful to just set up a joint email that we all have access to.
Yeah, something with a bold New Democracy.
Okay.
maybe not Richard Osmus, but you know, a Bold New Democracy at gmail.com or something.
Great, let's do that. Thank you. Other questions for Faith right before we slide away?
I was just going to comment on what Dan said, though. I just saw yesterday that Harvest Home is already canceled.
Yes.
And, you know, but I'm thinking of, to your point, you just made me think about this. You know, we have a lot of fun photos from some of last year's parades that aren't going to happen this year.
Yeah.
So how do we recreate some fun gifts and stories around a virtual parade or something?
And like doing Instagram lives are a great way of saying like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, Pride was canceled. We're going to celebrate Pride at home. Like, you know, we're doing fun, like things like that on Instagram Live, on Facebook Live, recreating these events and putting up throwback photos. And
Right. Would you recommend Instagram Live versus Facebook Live, just as a question?
Not generally.
Okay.
I like that what's convoluted is you can Instagram Live and stream it to Facebook. You can't Facebook Live and stream it to Instagram, but you're going to get more engagement on Facebook. Unless for some reason you're like an Instagram influencer. Charmaine obviously has more followers on Facebook than she does on Instagram.
Right.
And so I think that's still the more useful platform.
Okay, thanks. I think Nikki had a question.
Will the next login be the same link and the same password?
No.
Each time we do this, it's different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that to be creative about creating new ways of making it lively and interactive, Dan and Mary Carol and Faith and all of us, would be fun. I mean, we could even have someone kind of march and do it safely, march along, and every 10 feet or so, oh, there's another, here's so-and-so. You know, we could kind of be playful and creative and still keep the physical distancing in a parade sort of way, and have people dress up.
Some of the like birthday parades where people go down their whole block. In their yard and
have costumes, and we could make it fun, and then try to get a lot of people to connect with that and share it and make it go viral.
Yeah,
that's the right.
Yeah, that would be good. We could take pictures of cars and people walking, and then combine it, put it together.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, good. Well, thank you. And we're ready to go. Thank you for giving this time, Faith, and your expertise and your enthusiasm, and it's just remarkable. We're so blessed to have you. Thanks for each of you for taking part too. Let's keep going.
Richard. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See you.
When in doubt, love even more.
Sounds good to me.